Okay then, so in this episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS, we learn a lot about Aoi, also known as the Blue Angel, and she gets to interact with Yusaku a few times. She doesn't actually speak that much in the episode, but I feel like we get just about enough, so we know a little bit more about her personality kind of thing. So in the real world, she seems quite reserved, she speaks when spoken to kind of thing. I think she doesn't really like other people too much because she feels like they just try to talk to her. In her own words, the only reason people try to talk to me is so they can either get a job at my brother's company or so that they can have the new dual disc. So we can kind of see herself, she's not really confident in her own abilities. Her main goal at the moment seems to be able to prove herself to her brother to make him see her as a capable duelist. So we know her character motivation now, she just wants to be seen as a good duelist. So I reckon that when she loses against Yusaku, which most likely will happen, that's probably going to be a big dent in her plan anyway. So we have to see how that goes. We also know that she masquerades as a idol in the VR space, and she uses a trick star deck, which, I don't know, it reminded me of Ghost Tricks, but tricksters. Yeah. This seemed cool. Haven't seen them used in an actual duel yet, but the designs are quite like. We do get to see that when she calls out Yusaku or Playmaker, that one of the Knights of Hanoi, one of the upper class kind of friends with Revolver kind of thing, or at least colleagues with Revolver, he goes and meets her and gives her a card saying, we want you to beat Playmaker, and here's a card that you can use, and it's going to unlock your, I don't think he said inner darkness, but it was heavily implied it was going to unlock some inner turmoil kind of thing. So I'll be interested to see where that goes. But I imagine this is the kind of thing where the problem with the VR decks is people like the Knights of Hanoi, which I did say, people can hack their decks. I thought they were going to hack people's decks to get an advantage in duel, but this way they can just put shit in people's decks now, which have nefarious purposes. So there you go. So we'll look forward to that in the next episode. So as well, we're sticking with the episodes of one episode is about plot and dialogue and things like that, and then the episode after that is usually about a duel. We're still sort of going with that on-off sort of ratio kind of thing, which I'm still enjoying. I'm absolutely fine with it. Some people say the series is a little bit too slow for them. I'm absolutely alright with it, because sometimes you get that oversaturation of duels where they're just dueling absolutely crap duelists, and so far we've only dueled what I can see are meaningful duelists. We're not versing people like Flip Turner. What's some other fodder duelists? I'm not going to say Rex Raptor and Weevil Underwood, though they are fodder duelists. At least they reappear throughout the series. But you know what I mean, like duelists that make one appearance and never really get seen again. We don't really have that so far. Maybe that'll happen later in the series, but at the moment, it's pretty good. Very good plot. I like it when they're telling Yusaku that you have to go get to know Aoi, so you can sort of learn more about your past if that's possible. And everyone's like, Yusaku talk to girls. Psh. It's just like the burn. Yusaku's just there, he doesn't look like he minds, but he's like definitely in a monologue there, like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? I'm well cool. Ignis in this episode has actually quite a few funny moments. The one, of course, is when Playmaker is outside of the duel room and they say, come in, Yusaku, come, we'll get you set up. And he's like, oh no, it doesn't matter. And then Ignis impersonates him and he's like, you little... I just thought that was quite funny. And the other moment is, of course, how he sort of manipulated them to get into the VR space, where he told Yusaku, there's a Knight of Hanoi in there, we need to get in there now. And he emails Blue Angel to get the duel started. Though it was not a lie, there are some nefarious Knights of Hanoi actions going on. Yeah, I like that. That's a good way when I can sort of contradict the main character. When the main character, as personality, doesn't want him dueling against people, we can use Ignis as a way to sort of get him into the fight. So I like that. It's pretty clever. Did you see some of those old school cards in Yusaku's like fake deck? We had like what, Reinforcement of the Army? No, not Reinforcement of the Army. What's that monster? Not Reinforcements of the Army. Is it just called Reinforcements? It's the trap card that when you activate it, increase your monster's attack by 500 points. Oh, I can't remember. It's something along them lines. But he had some other like he had that plant one, which I think increases your life points by like 300 or 1,000 or something. So yeah, some. Oh, he had the swordsman with the little blue light. Oh, these cards. I've got all these cards. I just can't remember what some of them are. I can't remember. That's going to annoy me now. So the actual VRAINS system is throwing me for a little bit of a loop. So at first I thought you had to have sort of like a capsule thing or some sort of room dedicated to the VRAINS system that you go in it and you enter the VR space. But Yusaku uses it on a balcony and this blue sort of orb envelops him. And is that just unique to him, or can anyone do that? Because I didn't think that was a thing. And what does that blue orb do? Is it just sort of like a projection around you so you're in the VR space in there? Or is it so people can't mess with you? Or can they mess with you while you're in there? I'm just curious. I have a theory now that Shima is definitely going to find out Yusaku's identity. Because he's looking around the classroom saying, where is Yusaku? And then the whole Playmaker appears on TV. He's like, oh, Playmaker's here. But he didn't do the coincidental. It's so weird how Yusaku's always away when Playmaker's on TV. It's so strange. But I can see that coming eventually. And he didn't actually note how Aoi wasn't actually in the crowd. But yeah, we'll see. There's something else I noticed as well. They actually taught like normal lessons at the school. Just so used to seeing schools where they only teach dueling and the lessons are on like the philosophies of dueling and things like that. So what would they learn about? Like German or some German engineering thing, which may have some more reference to the plot that I didn't look into. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Last thing I wanted to mention is the Blue Angel song that they played at the end. I hope they actually incorporate that in the duel next week, because I think that would be pretty awesome. Music, I think, in this series has not been fantastic, in my opinion. But if they start incorporating sort of music like that into the duels, I think it could be really action-packed. It gave me kind of like a My Hero Academia Season 2 vibe in the tournament arc kind of thing. I don't know. But yeah, overall for the episode was okay, pretty good. I'd love to know what you guys thought in the comment section below. What do you think of the Trickstar deck? Has anyone actually seen some of the cards yet? Do you know how the deck plays? Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.